In this day and age, luxury airlines do still exist, some examples being Emirates, Cathay Pacific, and Qatar. But back in the day, few names stood out against the rest like Pan American World Airways. Better known as Pan Am, they were huge at the start of the jet age, flying to every corner of the globe. But what if I told you that this icon in the skies is attempting a comeback over 3 decades after it vanished? In today's video, we are going to dive into the history of Pan Am, look at the ambitious plans of the new owners, and explain what their biggest steps will be to take to the skies again as a scheduled airline. To understand this potential comeback, let's look back on a short history of the original Pan Am and its enduring legacy. The original Pan Am, founded in 1927, was a pioneer of international air travel. They launched the jet age for American carriers with the Boeing 707 and was the first airline to fly the Boeing 747. Pan Am offered luxurious service, exotic destinations, and iconic Clipper flights. However, a combination of the 1970s fuel crisis, deregulation, and world events eventually grounded the airline, which declared bankruptcy in 1991. Moving on, the Pan Am branding has been used multiple times over the years, but most attempts failed to capture the brand's original success and commercial operations. The most recent and most serious attempt to restart the airline began with Pan American Global Holdings acquiring the trademark in 2024. This new ownership group isn't just selling branded merchandise, they are actively working to relaunch Pan Am as a certified commercial airline. They started with focusing on the brand's legacy through luxury charter flights and experimental travel, such as the sold-out Tracing the Transatlantic tour back in June of 2025 that retraced some of the historic Pan Am routes on a chartered Boeing 757. Tracing the Transatlantic tour was done for 2 main purposes: to build brand awareness and to generate the significant income needed for an airline startup. I think it's time to talk about the main reason I made this video that proves the historic airline is actually attempting a comeback. Pan Am has officially begun the FAA certification process. In a huge step, the new Pan Am, in partnership with the aviation firm Aviate Air Capital, has officially started the long process with the FAA to become a Part 121 scheduled carrier. This is the certification required to operate large transport aircraft for commercial service in the U.S. The initial base is planned for Miami, Florida. It's a historic hub for the original Pan Am and to focus on the American market. For starters, the new Pan Am will not be flying large aircraft like the Boeing 747. Instead, they plan to operate a modern fleet focusing on narrow-body aircraft, specifically the Airbus A320 family. This is a dramatic shift from Pan Am's past aircraft types, but it's a smart move. The A320 family has lower operating costs, better fuel efficiency, and access to crew and maintenance better than older or larger wide-body jets. Their fleet is planned to start with around 4 Airbus jets and grow to 16 over the first few years. By starting with efficient Airbus A320 family aircraft on short to medium haul routes out of Miami, it will allow them to slowly build their network and reputation before expanding to long haul routes, possibly using newer aircraft like the Airbus A321XLR or the larger A330neo in the future. Another thing I'd like to add is these are some of the concept liveries of what the new Pan Am branding might look like. In my opinion, some of these concept liveries are actually pretty cool. The iconic blue globe may be a regular sight in the skies again. The certification process is a multi-year effort, but operations may commence as early as 2026. However, I cannot confirm anything and it will likely be longer until they start scheduled flights. But this time their return seems legit with the FAA certification process currently underway. The success of the modern Pan Am will depend on whether a new generation of travelers are willing to pay for the promise of classic style while the airline's operations stay modern and efficient. Did you ever fly the original Pan Am, or would you fly the new Pan Am? Let me know your thoughts on Pan Am's return in the comments below. And with that, I'll catch y'all in the next one. Bye!